It's the Travel Agency in a Year podcast day. I don't know, 11. Okay. Hi. Welcome back to the podcast for Travel Agency in a Year. This is Rachel K., your host. I am the founder of Elevate with Rachel K., and I feel like I'm Ferris Buellering this intro hard. It's fine. Okay, today's episode is creating your PTO. Why do you need to create your PTO? Why do you need to set boundaries with your operating hours? Super important, because if you don't think ahead to give yourself time off, you're never going to get time off as a business owner. And trust me, I was like, no big deal. I'm not going to have to do anything. And it spiraled completely out of control. So, yesterday's episode, I talked about you give yourself 20 minutes to do something, you're going to get it done on time. You only give yourself 4 days a week to do something because you want to work you want a 3-day weekend. You're going to get it done in that 4 days. So, don't stress about it and don't think that you do not deserve time to rest. It's very important. And you can give yourself as little or as much as possible. Don't think, well, if I book this family vacation, that's my vacation time. Because I know, and I've had discussions and I've done it myself. You're like, yes, I'm going to be on vacation. And then you end up working anyway. But this is going to help you set up. There's a difference between like going on fam trips versus actually shutting down. Like, I'm not going to open my laptop or touch my desktop for the next 4 days or whatever, the next week. There's a big difference between the two, because when you're going on a fam trip, yes, you can say I'm out of office and I'll be answering emails as quickly as possible, blah, blah, blah. You have to set those expectations. Like, yeah, I'm on a cruise ship right now and I have limited Wi-Fi access and I have limited time because I'm on all these excursions, so I can learn more about whatever, Virgin Voyages or whatever, so that I can help you get on your next Virgin Voyages cruise. But there's still an expectation to respond as quickly as possible. And you're still going to be checking your email, and you're still going to be like at least noting, what do I need to take care of when I get back? So with that being said, real PTO is like, you're not doing that. It's important to go out. I like to go out like 12 to 18 months at a time. And I like to give myself the time off that I want. And when I have a client contact me, or a lead, let's say, and they want to do a trip or their wedding, whatever, and it happens to fall around my PTO that I've already created, I can just say, I can't take you on. Like, even if it's, unless you're willing to move your dates of travel, I'm going to be MIA. I'm not going to be able to handle this for you when you're traveling. Now, it's different if you do have staff, because you could always like have your clients contact staff to help manage any travel issues in destination, but it's important to limit things. And here's a really good example. I have someone on my team took off for their birthday, like decided they wanted to do some kind of birthday thing. And they realized they had like 4 people going to 4 different locations, like 4 different couples going to 4 different locations. And they were all traveling like over, like on the cusp of this birthday. Like, they'd already be gone, but they'd still be in destination after he started his birthday time off. And he was like, I hope there's no travel issues, because now he's got 4 different countries to deal with. Right. And so I was like, yeah, lesson learned there. So that's another thing you may want to consider, not only just your PTO, but how many trips do you have traveling during specific months of the year? How close is it to the time that you want to take off to enjoy with your family, friends, whatever? Just be a slug in bed. I don't care what you do with your time off before you take these clients on. And that's why I like to schedule things out, like in terms of what days I want off, at least 12, if not 18 months out. Me personally, I do try to do 18 months out, because I will forget to redo it at the start of the year. And then I'll be like, oh no, I forgot to do my PTO. So I'm not perfect about it. And sometimes I just decide to stop in a random month, like a year or two in advance. And I'm like, okay, I'm good for a while. You want to make sure it's on all of your calendars and that all your calendars are integrated properly with your schedulers. So that way you have no one scheduling consultations and you have no one, you have your out of office responder on. And you can put a notification on if you need to before you start your vacation, PTO time, to set your out of office autoresponder. Another thing I like to do, and I low key stole this from my favorite wholesaler for groups, my groups coordinator. I'm not going to name names, but you know who you are if you know who I am. But when they have any out of office, anything that they're closed for holidays, anything like that, they just add a little sentence to their signature. Out of office, upcoming out of office dates. And they put it in bold caps, italicized, and then normal bold. And they'll just list the dates that they're out of office. Will return, blah, blah, blah. Mine is a little bit different. It's a little more like, oh, blah, 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 travel is going to be closed from da 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 to celebrate blah, 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 blah. We will reopen on da 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 da. But that's something I like to do about 2 weeks prior to any time off is just have that there. So that way, if somebody emails me and gets an out of office auto response and then they get mad because I have had that happen before because well, I'm apparently travel advisors are just robots available 24/7, right? But I have had that happen before and it's like, well, you submitted a payment 2 weeks prior and there was the like you knew for 2 weeks that I was going to be out of office. It was in this email signature. Like I don't know how else to communicate it to you. Um Sometimes I will send like we're going to be closed for the holidays emails, but when it's like little I'm taking a 3-day weekend, it's fine. Like, I just put it in, like, we will be closed for this weekend, or I'll be out of office for this weekend. You can reach out to so and so if you have any urgent issues. And for those traveling, please contact me via WhatsApp. I mean, I don't schedule anyone to travel when I'm taking time off, but I put that in there because only those people who are traveling have my WhatsApp, right? Any newer clients, they don't get my WhatsApp phone number until they get their travel documents. So they don't know how to bother me. So anyway, I like to give myself personally 1 3-day weekend a month, 1 week a quarter, and I can space it out however I want, and then 2 full weeks a year. And that works out to approximately like 6 8 weeks time off, which is like the standard in most jobs. Well, you're probably going to hate me because you're like, what do you mean that's the standard? I got 2 weeks PTO when I first started. But that's like something you could work up towards if you wanted to. And it's something I learned from a real estate broker a long, long time ago to keep their sanity. They did it so they aren't doing showings constantly and they can set that boundary with their clients like, I'm allowed a life too. So I would highly recommend it. Make sure it's integrated with your scheduler. Make sure that you have an out of office autoresponder ready to go. I have just a templated one I call holiday, and I just update the days I'm going to be out of office. That's all I need to do. And I like the little tip of putting it in your email signature. Um, about 2 weeks prior to you taking any upcoming out of office. You could also do it if you're going to have like a doctor's appointment that might take you all day for some reason. You could even do that and put upcoming out of office date, the 13th of February or something like that. So I hope this helps you. This is a great way to start establishing boundaries and make sure you aren't overbooking yourself and you give yourself some time to rest. I have found when I have had time to rest, that's when I have the most creative spark. And then I just write down all these things in my handy dandy notebook. And then I'm like, all right, something to implement next quarter, maybe. So getting that rest is very, very important. Yep. 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 Okay. Whew. I can't believe we are only 11 days in. I hope all of this information has been very helpful. Please share with a travel advisor you know who needs help building their business, um, to come join me, travel agency in a year. and I'll see you tomorrow.